Hi, good morning. I just wanted to be sure that we're recording. We are live on Facebook. I believe that those on Facebook are also seeing me. So you're all welcome. It's 7 o'clock and we will get started immediately. So you're all welcome to this amazing opportunity. So what we're doing today is just sharing with you the products we use and why we use these products. Yes, I know you have the products that you use, right? We all have products we use, but we just feel like we should share with you the products we use and why we chose to stick with these products. It's going to be a five episode series. We started this series last week. It was such an amazing time, listening to people share their experiences on the various products. And we will continue with that series today. Now, because there are so many products we use in our home, we have decided to restrict the products we're talking about in this series to a certain brand. And that brand is the Longreach brand. Longreach is a manufacturing company and it's 34 years old. It's got some contract manufacturing clients like Adidas, Walmart, GSK, Avon, Shiseido, Estee Lauder, name them. So they have numerous people they manufacture for, and they also have state-of-the-art manufacturing plant from which Longreach manufactures the products that we use globally. So we are brand ambassadors of the Longreach products, and we want to share with you these products. Please don't say, "Oh, if it's Longreach, I don't want to hear." We're sorry, but we would love to share with you the others. But for this particular series, we're only sharing Longreach, and I just want to crave your indulgence to stick with us. You're not obligated to buy the products. You're not obligated to use the products. You're not obligated to do the business. We just simply want you to hear out people's experiences on these products. And if you feel that from what you hear, there are people who might need these products, all you just need to do is connect those people to the Longreach products. That's what we're doing. We're just simply creating awareness of what these products can do for us so that we can all enjoy the benefits of these products. Okay? So please stick with us and pay attention as we share with you some of the products. So today we're going to be focusing on two of the ranges. Last week, our major focus was on daily consumables. So I've got two of my co-hosts here with me. My name is Dr. Heidi Usor, and I'm co-hosting with Mrs. Murphy and Ansa. You will see them as we go along. So I've been a Longreach partner for 6 years, and I've also been a Longreach product user for about 7 years. So I am an addict of Longreach products, and I will also along the line share with you my experience. Today we're going to be talking about the sanitary napkin range and the baby products range. Just sit tight, relax. We're going to start with introducing the products first, and then we're going to get other people to share with us their experiences on these products. So stick with us, just sit down, relax, and enjoy with us the next 45 minutes. The amazement, like my friends will say, the amazement and the miracle behind the Longreach products. So I'll get started by calling one of the co-hosts, Mrs. Murphy, to take over and introduce to us the sanitary napkin range. Mrs. Murphy, over to you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's always morning in Longreach. My name is Mrs. Murphy, and I will be talking about the sanitary napkins. Before I do a short demo, I'd like to tell you just a little story. So when I was in secondary school during my NECO exam, I had terrible menstrual pain, and that pain was so bad that on my report card, my NECO certificate, you're going to see absent. I actually missed an exam. That's how bad the pain was. And growing up, people felt we're almost told, or we felt that having menstrual pain was normal. Like, oh, once you're a woman, it's normal. it was one of those things. You would just go to the pharmacy and get over-the-counter drugs. I was a Felvin, I don't know if Felvin addict, because they said that was what worked for menstrual pain. And at some point, in fact, the pain would be so much, they would have to take me to the hospital and I'll take some injections. I can't remember the name of the injections, but I was given injections to actually calm my nerves to make me feel better. And at some point, I also realized that, oh, okay, when you eat healthy, you exercise, and it will actually reduce the cramps. But I never knew. And if anybody had told me that there was a product that one could use that would actually eliminate or stop menstrual cramps, I honestly would not have believed you. In fact, that is the first thing that will make me cut you off, because I would say I don't work with scammers. So I'm going to talk about the sanitary pad, Longreach sanitary napkin. We have three. We have this is for light flow. I'm going to explain what they mean by light flow. This is for day use, and this is the night use. Now, these three sanitary packs, this light flow, I know most of us are women here, and for those of you that are men, it would be nice for you to pay attention so that you would know how to advise your daughters or recommend it well for your wife and all. So I always buy the 4-in-1 pack, the carton, because it's easy for me to, differentiate which one I'm going to use and when. So this one, you know how as a woman, towards the end of your flow where you just feel trickles, but it's not really flowing, but it's flowing. I don't know if you guys get me. We all know that method. We all know that. We all have that scenario where it's not flowing, but it's flowing. You just go out and, you just realize that you're stained somehow. This light flow is what I use mine for towards the end of my period, because the panty liner may be too small to hold whatever may come out. So I use this light flow. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like. It's a small pack. It has, okay. So it's tightly sealed. I'm doing the demo. I'm going to explain how sealed it is and all. So you can see what it's like. It has a wing. So okay. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of small. It's almost like your palm, right? And it helps with those little flows that come after your cycle, after your period. Then we have the day use. Now, this is actually night use, but is what we call the heavy flow. So if you have the heavy flow, I would not recommend this for you. I would recommend you use this. But this one is a little bit shorter than the heavy flow. So let me just show you what it looks like. I'm also going to open the big one so that you can see. Okay. So this is what it looks like. It's a little bit short. So for people like myself that are very tall and people probably that have big bum, I would recommend this for them, because let me show you. Okay. So this is a longer pad. Okay. So this is a longer pad and this is a shorter pad. Can you see the difference? So if you leak a lot, you have a very heavy flow, this would be your go-to. This is what I would recommend for you. Now let's go over to the demo so that you can see what our pads actually look like, what they feel like, and how they can be used. Now, our pads, our sanitary towels are not your regular sanitary towels, right? Firstly, it is made of pure cotton, 100% cotton. I'm not going to be calling the name of a brand, but you are going to see what I am doing. So I'm going to use two brands. This brand is the Longreach brand. This brand is another brand that we always buy. And so I'm going to show you. Now, one thing I love about the Longreach sanitary pad is that it is tightly sealed. So I'm going to bend this a bit so that you can see me. It is tightly sealed. There are no loopholes. You can put this inside water and your pad is going to come out safe. It's not going to be wet. But if you put this, you can see that the packaging of this is actually very light. So let's move over to the demo. Now, this is, I'm going to show you how much our pads can absorb. So I hope you all can see me. Can you see me? Can you see what I'm doing? If you can see it in the comment section, please type yes. Type yes if you can see what I am doing. So this is our long reach. Okay, fantastic. This is our long reach sanitary pad, and I'm going to put it here. So now it actually looks very slim, slender. It feels very light, but that's the beauty of it. Whenever I use this sanitary towel, I can actually wear a chiffon dress or a lycra dress. For those of you that are good with materials, you would know that on your period, when you're on your period and you use a lycra dress or a chiffon dress, there is movement. Like you'll be hearing squish, squash when you're walking. Who has experienced that? Please, I'd like to know that I'm not alone. Who has experienced that when you wear a sanitary pad and then you hear movement, you hear squish, squash, like you actually feel or hear the sound of your pad when you're walking? Okay, fantastic. So I'm not alone, right? So, but what I have noticed about this is that whenever I use this, there is no squish, squash. I can dress the way I want to. Now, another thing I love about this long reach sanitary pad is that it actually removes odor. Now, I don't know if I am the only one again, but if you know you have experienced this, tell me, how many of you know when your friends are on their period? They don't have to complain of menstrual pain, but when they come close to you, there is this foul smell, like there is this period smell. It's not that you're a dirty person, it's not that you don't have perfume, but there is a period smell. Fantastic. Dr. Heidi said she has a strong sense of smell. I do as well. And sometimes when in fact, my house helps, when they come into my room and they're on their period, I know. So now I don't even joke. Once you come into my house, I'm handing over long reach pad to you because I have to protect myself and my own sanity. Even if I don't love you, but I love you, so I'm going to give it to you. So it prevents odor. I noticed that one because I realized that whenever I'm on my period, I actually kind of avoid my husband. It's not like he's complaining or anything, but somehow I just feel like I can perceive myself. I can perceive something. So I avoid, like I literally just keep my distance. But now with the long reach pad, and this is not about advert, because trust me, if this pad is not good, I wouldn't even be staking my integrity for it, right? So with the long reach pad, I can actually be on my period, not hear squish, squash, not perceive myself. Even when I go to urinate, because I know before when I go to urinate, you will perceive that thing, and it's irritating, even for me, a woman. Another thing I love about this pad is that it is breathable. When you wear it, you actually feel comfortable. You don't feel itchy. Do you get? If you feel like your period is pouring, it's flowing, you don't ever see it, you don't ever feel that heaviness, or like you don't feel irritated, you actually feel good. So let me not take too much time. I'm going to show you a demo to show you how much our pads absorb. Now, I was discussing with a friend and she told me, oh, Mrs. Murphy, I would have loved to use your long reach sanitary pad, but it is too expensive. And I said, no, long reach sanitary pad is not expensive. When you want to talk about expensive, talk about a house in Banana Island, talk about, different things that are expensive, but for something that will give I'm going to use the right word, my vagina air, or allow my vagina breathe, will give me peace every month. Trust me, I would not mind spending so much on it because I spend more on data. I spend more on taking my hair to the salon just for them to wash it and to roll it. So why can't I spend on myself, the part of my body that once there is a boil, I will not sleep, that can affect me? No, so long reach pad is not expensive, and I'm going to show you why. So when this friend came to my house, I took the sanitary pad from her because she was actually going to the restroom to go and change. I took it from her. I said, don't worry, I'm going to give you a long reach pad, but let me show you something. You left your house around 10 a.m. You got to my house by 2 p.m. and you are already soaked. Let me show you the difference. So I'm going to I have my water here, okay? So probably I'll have to stand a bit, okay, for you to see it. Okay, fantastic. So I have my water here. We also the packs of pad that I brought out. So you're going to watch carefully. Now this is a syringe. Okay, so this is a syringe. I'm going to draw 60 mils of water from it. So this is 60 mils of water, and I'm going to pour it on this. So I'm going to pour, please watch very well. I'm going to pour. Now, our language pad, also something I love about it is that it's glue. It has an amazing glue. The gum on it is fantastic. How many of you can testify to the gum? So I'm just going to pour only one syringe. I doubt this pad can take one syringe. I don't know if you can see what I am seeing, but one syringe of water, the whole thing is wet. Can you see my hand? Everything is wet. And the water is still hanging around. So for those of you that say long reach pad is expensive, this is the best time for me, right, to actually explain what you mean by expensive. Because imagine one syringe of this. This is just 60 mils. It took, I'm going to show you what is going to happen later on. But imagine using 5 of this in a day. Multiply 5 by the number. How many is in a pack? We have about 8 or 10 in a pack. Now imagine using 1 of this in a day. Now let's see. So we're going to take the same 60 mils. And you know what I love about the long reach pad? This is the easiest thing I can use to demonstrate. I can talk about the long reach supplement. I can talk about the long reach soap, but it's difficult to believe because you have to use it before you can believe. But for me, I can show you to believe. So let's watch. This is just one syringe. So I don't know, is it visible enough? Can you see what I'm doing? If you can see, please mention that you can see. So I have just put one syringe, okay? I'm going to do something first before I continue adding more syringes. So let us see. Please, can you tell me what you can see? I put one syringe here, right? Okay, I put one syringe here, and we can see that I already have a pool on my table and nothing poured out of here. And you saw me put one syringe here. I'm back to my cup, and I'm going to take another syringe. So, oh, long reach pad is expensive, very expensive. You've already used one pad. You're getting the next pack of pad, and I'm still dripping in blood. My period is still popping. Okay, this is the second syringe. So this is 120 mils, right? 120 mils. Oh, before I forget, let me show you something else. I'm going to tap on this and tap on this. What can you see? My hands are dry. And guess what? I've put 2 syringes inside here, right? I need to top my water. I need some more water. Oh, I have a very heavy flow. Don't worry. We have heavy flow for you. So we're going to take the 3rd syringe. Okay, the 3rd one. The 3rd one. I'm sorry this demo is taking too long, but it's important I show you. This is the 3rd syringe, and I'm going to pour. So that means we have about how many mils here? 180. 180. And if you can see the side flaps, nothing, it's not wet. It's still very normal. So I'm trying to disgrace long reach here by putting 3 syringes, right? That's 180 mils. Let's pour and see. So I have put 3 syringes and our long reach pad is still not dripping. Like, I don't know what else to say. Let's try a 4th one. I think I'm testing long reach too much. Who wants a 4th one? Who wants me to put a 4th syringe? Comment below. Let's try this. Let's see. Seeing is believing. Who wants a 4th syringe? Can you hear me? Comment below. Okay, fantastic. I can see one comment. So let's put a fourth syringe, right? So let's say you're stuck somewhere, you're stuck in traffic, and you're using the long reach sanitary pad and you're soaked. You feel that you're soaked. Guess what? You won't even feel irritated that you're soaked. People around you are not going to perceive anything. And guess what? You're not going to get stained because this pad is proving to be to be something else. Okay, so I'm pouring. So let's leave it at 4, right? Okay, let's leave it at 4. The long reach pad has tried. Even if the water pours now, it has tried because this is like 4-0, right? Okay. And guess what? Our pad is still not dripping. Our pad is still not dripping. So with this, I can just call it a day. I can just like literally put off this phone and go. I have nothing more to say to anybody. Even if you are a member that is saying long reach pad is expensive, you cannot use the pad. After watching this demo, if you want to buy 10 packs of another sanitary pad to use for one period, it's fine and good. The only reason I even change my pad in the night is because of sanitary reasons, because I just need to keep clean. So this is it. Another thing I need to show you is, yes, you can actually use long reach pad the whole day. You can actually, no matter how heavy your flow is, unless you just want to keep on changing. And you have to set it right in your pants so that it sits well and the blood flows directly. Now, another thing I need to show you is, I'm going to be really fast. Another thing I need to show you is this. Now, let's open this pad that is supposed to be, this is what the pad inside looks like. The other one, right? And it's actually supposed to have a magnetic strip, but it looks like it was painted. Let's open the long reach pad and let's see what comes out of it. Guess what? Pure gel. This is gel, pure gel, and it is 100% cotton. Another thing you need to know is that it has a real magnetic strip. Now, what this magnetic strip, anion strip, does is that it helps with the circulation of oxygen. And that is why it helps treat gynecological issues. So every woman, please, if you my daughter has never experienced menstrual pain because she uses this, and she would never tell anybody that menstrual pain is normal because menstrual pain is not normal. So with this, I need to close. Dr. Ivy, I'm sorry I took too much time. I just had to show this very well. And so this is the magnetic strip. It can be used for so many things. We'll talk about that later on, but it's important you know this. So I'm sorry for messing up your screen, but I had to show you what our pads look like. And guess what? The gels are not even wetting my hand. They are not even wetting my hand. So thank you everyone for listening. It's been a pleasure. Dr. Ivy, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Murphy. Thank you so much. That was actually amazing. Thanks a lot. I can see all the people in the video, in the comment section, even on Facebook, also very excited, about the demo. There is a question that someone is asking, is it healthy to use one pad the whole day? I'll say no. Even with the long reach pad, it's still not healthy. Can you use the whole day? Yes. Can you use for 24 hours? Yes. But the long reach pad becomes overstressed because the long reach pad contains that green strip that she talked about. It's a deodorizer. That green strip is actually a proper deodorizer. And so with the green strip and the anion, the magnetic strip, the functions of it is like overstretching it. Even though the pads are made from 100% cotton, we strongly do not recommend that you use it the whole day. You can maybe use 2 a day, that's perfect and fine, but don't use for 24 hours, okay? Then for the other kinds of pads, actually, you're never supposed to use those ones for more than 4 hours. But with the long reach pad, you can go as long as 8 hours, and that is perfect as well. Someone says in the comments, thank you, Mrs. Murphy. I love the demonstration. Another person says the gel is also medicinal. I'm a witness. Yes, the gel is medicinal. We have someone saying, Ulinda says, ever since I started using the long reach pad, I can't remember the last time I got stained. Yes. So, but just make sure it sits well because it's 100% cotton. So it's like saying you need to wear a pants that sits it well, otherwise you get stained. I hear a lot of people tell me, oh, the language pad stained me. The reason you got stained was because you not sit it well. It follows, because of it's 100% cotton, follows the shape that you place it. So when you use a pant that holds it in place, I don't know how many of us remember, but 10, 15 years ago, we had a pants strictly for periods. And those pants were tight fitted, like literally fitted. So those are the kind of pants you use. And 10 years ago, of course, what pads they used were cotton. Mrs. Murphy didn't even have time to show you the difference in materials. The other pads that we commonly have are made from nylon and recycled papers, but the language pad is made from 100% cotton. And why someone says that that gel is medicinal, is made from 100% natural wood polymer. So if you know the basic functions of just the wood bark and then a wood polymer, you will know that it also has natural properties that can help. We can spend an entire day telling you about this language sanitary pad, but I did a video or training a while back on the medicinal and scientific properties of the language pad. It will be uploaded on our YouTube page sometime later this week. So when you see that video, you can actually understand the other scientific part. Today, we are just doing the practical part, showing you how the pad absorbs and getting other people to tell us how they feel about using the language pad. But before we come to the pad, we have two products we're supposed to speak about today. The sanitary napkin range actually includes the pad and the panty liners. The panty liners are supposed to be just like the pad, but very small, like a panty liner, and no thick gel for absorption. Just a normal panty liner, right? So we're going to also hear people tell us their feedback and experience on the panty liner, but that's just the sanitary napkin range, the pad and the panty liner. We also want to talk about the baby range. Today is all about women and babies, right? So we're going to talk about the baby range. We're going to be introducing my other co-host, Lady Ansa, to talk to us about the baby range. Just give us the basics before we now hit the feedback from the people in the crowd. So Lady Ansa, over to you. You need to unmute yourself, but let me see. I think you have two numbers that you're using. Please, Ansa, if you have two numbers you're using, what you need to do is make sure that one is completely muted. If one is completely muted, it may help us so that there'll be no echo. But you can go ahead now. Unmute whichever one you want to work with. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, and it's so good to be back here. So first of all, before I go into the baby range, I want to share my own experiences with the sanitary towel, the Superbklean products. I went in for a clinical at the beginning of last year, and my doctor said to me, "You have fibroids." And I've never experienced, it was probably starting off, but I was a bit shocked because in my family, we've never recorded a history of fibroids. So I wondered, was it growing? Was the pace too fast? And he said to me, come back in 6 months and let's do a retrial for you. Let's do a recheck. So of course I had started using my Superbklean products, which are the panty liner and the sanitary towel. And so by July, when I went back, he checked me and he said, your uterus is just very clean. He said, Mrs. Okorafo, your uterus is very clean. And I said to him, no, doctor, because for me, it was a shock. I've been hearing people's testimonials, but I was just shocked. Like, check well, please check well, it's there. He said, no, that this is it. He showed me where the spot was. So what you will experience is a lot of clotting, a lot of bleeding if you have those challenges. I know of people that have said that their fibroids have shrunk. And also, I have a lot of partners who give me feedback. In fact, I have a lot of clients that because of the sanitary towel, they joined the business. They started maybe as product users because they'll come into my workshop and either in a lot of pain, dysmenorrhea, cramps, and I'll just give them a packet. I say, go try this out. And they call me back, say, wow, I have never experienced this before. The pain is ebbing. After a while, your period actually comes upon you. You'll be shocked. Even if you're timely and you time and you check it and you record, you'll be very shocked. You're like, oh, is it that time again? Because after continuous usage, it gradually ebbs out. And after a while, you will not experience it again. So a lot of people are very impatient. So I used it once, I used it twice, and just continuously use it. You didn't have these challenges overnight. So it takes a little while. Now, one thing I know that panty liner, if you have lower back pain, just learn to activate it. How do you activate it? You sprinkle some water on the green patch, on the green section of it, and then you turn it into the back, your area that you're aching. Do you know that after a while you begin to feel relief? You can put it in your shoes before you go out in the morning. It actually helps to draw out all that damp and boiling smell. We call it boiling smell. It takes away the foot odors. It also it just stabilizes you, like it grounds you. I don't know how that happens, but it does have the magnetic energy strip in it, the anion strip. So you also use it to take out the smells from your shoes when at the end of the day, and it keeps your feet really fresh. A lot of people have so varied uses. If you have burns, let me say this. I have this on I've been doing a lot of picture taking with it. This was supposed to be nasty because this was when it burnt and my skin singed off, and I had to put on the panty liner there for about 4 days, very religiously, and it went. I had an infection on my finger and I used the panty liner, the side that has the strip on it, and you could see it, in fact, the throbbing. The finger was throbbing and throbbing and throbbing. And after about 3 days, that infection, it was, I think maybe like a whitlow, it had pulled out all the intending. It didn't get to the post stage, but it was trying to aspire. It had pulled out everything. So there's so many uses. If you have burns, please use your panty liner, the strip from it. You can use it to get some horrible rashes off your body. So, I hope I've covered as much as I can. And let me get onto our amazing baby range. If you know that you were locked down from this lockdown, please just raise your 2 hands up, because I know a lot of people that are carrying portable stomachs around right now. I'm like, come on, come on. We have the products to sort you out. So what are our baby ranges? They're not limited to, but we have 4 products now in Nigeria that you can totally bank on. The prickly heat powder. A lot of us were using dusting powder. I don't know the name, but I know, Shah, that we all call it dusting powder. You should stop using dusting powder because, first of all, you don't even see the original ones again. Yes, regulate period, please. That's very important. Actually regulates your period. So you find out that you're having the same cycle. So for the powder, you can use it on your baby skin. It traps all the moisture, it just keeps your baby silky smooth after a while. And for those people that need products to sort of like tone down their makeup, like when you put your foundation and you need a setting powder, because it has cornstarch, it is very good. So imagine what cornstarch can do to your baby. Just sort of like keeps the baby in a very good, calm, that baby will not be crying anyhow. And you know how hot it is right now. Even if you don't have AC on and you pat on the powder, you put it on your hand and dust off the excess and pat it on your baby. That baby is going to be cool as a cucumber. All right. Now we have the baby wash. That baby wash, the fragrance is not overbearing. It's very calming. It's very, very calming on your baby's skin. In fact, every long-reach baby is a peaceful baby, because by the time you've bathed them, powdered them, creamed them, all sorts of things on them, that baby will just be cool like that, So we have the baby wash, which is also good for shampoo. It keeps the baby's hair clean, the scalp clean, the skin squeaky clean. You finish bathing your baby and you be like, you don't want to leave this baby, like you want to cuddle, because the baby, the fragrance is so good on the baby. And note, it is not overwhelming. So it is also, I think it does not allow tears. It doesn't smart the baby's eyes. So you can use it as a head wash and as a body wash. Then we have the cream. The cream is so soothing. I also use the cream once in a while. When I'm low on supply, I use it and mix my produce. My children use the cream and it helps to smoothen the baby's skin. I have a lot of testimonials on mommies that had issues with their baby. I tell you, if your baby is born and you start using your long-reach products, that baby will just look like they were in the abroad. Like they were actually abroad, and that's because the skin regulates, the skin just maintains. There'll be 1 or 2 issues with babies, but our products keep the baby skin really clear. I have a lot of partner testimonials on that. All this eczema and dry skin and dry scalp, and I think cradle cap also, everything is good for the baby from that range. Then we have the diapers. Those diapers. We were in Tanzania, when they announced that I didn't know when I shouted, I jumped up from my chair. I don't have babies, though. It's not even in the horizon anymore. I didn't know when I got so excited. I said, if our sanitary towels are like this, that means that anybody that has a baby right now, you are just going to be enjoying. Do you know that as soon as this product came out, not so I don't have any baby, but I was excited for mothers. As soon as this product came, I went to the head office and I chatted. And I started sharing it. I said, all I need is your honest to truth analysis of this product, and then just give me a feedback. And after about 2 weeks, I started getting reports. They're like, a mother said to me, do you know that, let me confess, after bathing my baby in the night, I looked at this diaper, I looked at my baby, nobody was looking at me. Answer, I was this close to wearing that diaper back on my baby. I said, and this is one I saw woman who, I started laughing. I said, you wouldn't dare. She said, I dare, I can do it. Because that diaper was so dry, it was as if she just used a new one. And babies pee a lot at night because they feed through the night. And she said that there was no heaviness. Let me just share. Let us picture some babies. You see some babies, their body is here and their diapers come down to below their knees. The wee has entered and is dragging the diaper. So even the baby cannot move. Oh. The baby is trying to go forward, but the heaviness of the diaper is dragging the baby back. I see that a lot. So most times I like change. And I said, but I just changed it. I'm like, you didn't change it well. Please go and tighten this thing. Okay, so don't give your baby Teletubby moves. Just allow that baby move well. How do you want the baby to walk? But one thing with our diapers is that as the wee comes, it is just gellinizing the wee and it is locking it. It has layers and layers. It has, oh, please go and find this diaper and just feel it. Even if you want to feel fresh with yourself, just be touching it. You know how you touch these things and you get energized self. And then, do you know that our diapers, a lot of these diapers, you have to put a diaper cream, you have to put a rishi on top of it, you put Vaseline. By the time the baby finishes, the skin cannot breathe. Next thing you see rashes, next thing also, you can use the long reach diaper. You do not put Vaseline, you do not put cream, you do not put anything on the baby's between. There is a natural cottony barrier for your baby. You remove that diaper from a baby and you touch your baby's bum, it is totally dry. I've seen it. So even if you want to do that demo with a diaper, try it. It is even more correct. I will say it's even more correct than our sanitary towels. Take me anywhere, I will say it. Because they have probably used whatever mistakes they've made in whatever, and they just infused it into that. Yes, something they've infused into that diaper. It has layers of absorbency. Now, just picture a baby that is constantly crying. Do you know that the solution is, first of all, to change the baby's diaper and to feed the baby? So just imagine that if only your troubles in this world with your baby is just to feed your baby, as half your problem not finished in this life, But some people tell you that, oh no, and it is also cost effective. Because if you were using like 5 packets of diaper in the morning, 15 before the day is over, and then with your long reach diaper, only when your baby poos, that's where you have to change it. I have seen it. I've stayed with a mommy from morning till night who had a baby who used the diaper, and we looked at it, and I know as a fact that if your baby is in this diaper, you're not even going to worry about heat rash, your baby bum, silky smooth bum. We all want that silky smooth bum, And then there's something very, very interesting about this diaper too, energy. All those children that are trying to crawl, that are slow in crawling, do you know that by the time you use that diaper, it is like this, like as if that baby just moved. Give it another day or two. This one I have seen, I've confirmed it also. Even babies that are trying to stand, when they wear your diaper, do you know that they have the energy? Like I don't even know what happens there. I wish I had a baby. Like I wish I had a baby that in the morning I can monitor and put my records down and know so I can say this thing. But I've tried to be as close to some moms who are experiencing our diapers and they're actually hooked to our diaper. So you can see a baby that is struggling to crawl, a baby that is struggling to stand and hold things, and they start using our diaper and it's like magic overnight. The legs straighten, all those small bow legs begin to straighten out. Okay, and then when you look at the shape of the diaper, it is not made to chafe the baby's skin. It rolls, the baby moves and it moves with the baby. Like any way the baby moves. Observe my hand. If the baby is moving this way, that's how the diaper is moving. Hey, I wish I can have a baby, but let's not be looking for school fees. I think no school fees. We are sorted, Seth. Why am I even talking so much? So you really have to experience it. And I'm calling those the core products we have, because of course a lot of our other products babies can actually use them safely also. So you have the baby cream, the baby powder, the diaper, and the baby wash. But one thing you should know is that if you have a baby dedication to go for, stop going into all those other shops. Just make a pretty diaper, hamper, boy, girl hamper, fill it up, and that mother will thank you for so much. So, Dr. Aydin? Hello?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I heard you. Sorry, I didn't know I was still muted. Thank you so much. That was very passionate. Like, no, see, anytime I just hear all those baby series, baby diaper thing, I'm like, I want a baby. But no, some of us had closed that chapter, signed, sealed, delivered, blah, 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 blah. But guys, if you have a baby or you are hoping to have one, please plan the diapers, plan the baby series. Now, I'll just tell you a bit about my experience with the baby series. One thing I've heard about the diaper is that it actually prevents against bow legs. And it's tested and trusted. This was actually said by a medical doctor who had a baby and did her research. So you know, some diapers can actually cause bow legs. I don't want to mention the English name, but it can, and the medical term. So it can help. So this diaper is multifunctional. But my daughter and my son is 7, my daughter is 4. They still use the baby bath and the baby cream. The baby powder we seldom use, but we use baby. Now, why I use the baby cream? My daughter has this, she's light skinned. She's not as dark as my son and I. She has these patches on her skin. Whenever she has a bite, her skin is like attracting skin. So she easily gets bite. Bugs always bite her. And once they bite her, start catching her, as soon as she scratches it, it swells. Now, once it swells, it starts leaking water. And then after that, it gets dark. So all her skin, you see a lot of dark bite. And I'm talking about things like mosquitoes, mosquito bites, bugs, and all of that. So she had a lot of dark patches on her skin before the Long Beach Baby series came. You won't believe that when the Long Beach Baby series came, I switched to that immediately, the bath and the cream. My daughter's skin is all evened out. All the dark patches are gone. And so when I saw that, and just like Ansa said, her skin became oyibo-ish. When I saw that, I told myself, I'm sticking to this cream for as long as possible. After all, I used Pear Baby lotion till I was almost 34, right? So I don't see why my daughter cannot use this baby lotion until she decides she doesn't want to buy, she wants to start buying her cream, because it just makes her skin so smooth. It brings out her glow. My son, when I had him, he had jaundice. So I had to put him out in the sun. Literally every morning, my mother would take him out and sit under the sun for almost 3 hours just to get that jaundice to go away. And he became so dark. And then I had no idea. After that, I started using olive oil as a cream. That was what I was buying. It was my first child. And then by the time I joined Long Beach, I switched to the sod milk. And you know what sod milk does? It repairs. So the sod milk started repairing, but the darkness did not go. He was still super dark. Do you know when I switched him to the baby cream, the Long Beach Baby Range cream, his skin broke. You started seeing his complexion. He started glowing. He's still dark, but he's now brown skinned like me, not heavily dark like he used to be because of the sun. Now, this is just those 2 products. The powder is our go-to. Like whenever my daughter has those bites now, we just either apply that powder or spray the multi-effect. Within 2 minutes, the itch has stopped, because the itch, it does not progress to the stage where it swells and then start bursting. So I know some people here can relate to that, because I've heard some parents tell me about it as well. So it's fantastic. The product ranges are fantastic. Now I'm going to read some comments, and then after that, I will call on some of the people who already indicated that they will be talking to us about their experiences. I don't know if Christy is here, Loveth, Fatima, and so I'm expecting Loveth, Christy, Fatima, and Miracle. So please raise your hands if you're here so that I can actually unmute you to speak. Christy, Loveth, Fatima, and Miracle, you've spoken to me earlier. You all have 3 minutes each. We want to try and wrap this up in no time. But let me go through the comments while we're waiting for them to raise their hands as well. So I can see some comments here. So let's see. Someone said, how do I about the panty liner, how do I know it works since it treats infection? If you don't have any problems, it's actually one of the benefits is to treat infection. The other benefit is to prevent infection, to maintain your vaginal pH. There are so many benefits, so many benefits. There's another benefit that, is any child here? If you use it after sex, immediately after sex, you can actually see it drain out all the sperm, like you can see it on it, right? So, but if you want to know the panty liner works, you find some energy, some lovely vaginal smell. Then you take out your pants. Some of us that are still using white pants, we were trained with white pants in secondary school. But if you're still using white pants, you find out that you can't use white pants without a panty liner. So, but if you use your panty liner, you pull out, your pants is still healthier and all of that. So you will know, you will feel better, literally, okay? Infinix Hot 7.
Hello, Doc. Sorry, can I a bit?
Yes, okay. Is it my network or yours? Okay, it's your network. It says your bandwidth is low. Can you hear me, Mrs. Murphy?
Okay, yes, I can. Okay, for the infection part, I wanted to just say, okay, can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear you.
Okay, most times when you buy the box of pad, it comes with this indicator. I actually love the indicator. Yeah. So once you open it, it actually has a card. So it has what we call the color indicator, and then it has like a strip. So what you do is you insert this into into your vagina, and then after a while, the instructions are actually on this leaflet. After a while, the color you see on this. Sorry,
you should have a cotton bud. You don't insert the strip.
Okay, sorry.
You use the cotton bud to swap inside the vagina and then apply on the strip.
Yes. Okay. So you use the cotton bud. I actually forgot. And then you just inside the vagina, and then you put it on this, right, Doc? And then the color it indicates will actually tell you if probably you have an infection, or even if you're treating an infection from the hospital, you can use this to monitor your progress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I think her network is very, very weak. The network strength. Okay, so but what she's trying to say is that with the indicator pack in the box, it also comes in the panty liner box now. You can actually check for infection. Some of us have infection that we don't even know because it's asymptomatic, meaning it's not displaying symptoms, but those infections are there. And those infections can put people at risk of serious gynecological issues. I'm talking about major gynecological issues. World Health Organization even identified that poorly made sanitary napkins accounts for about 60% of gynecological problems women have. So you can imagine that people can have infections and they don't even know. Something like cervical cancer starts with that HPV virus that has no indication, no symptoms at all. But using that stick to swab gives you that indication that there may be something wrong, because if you have infection, your pH changes. The vaginal pH is meant to be acidic, quickly acidic, right? But if you have infection, it starts going towards alkaline. And so that means there's a problem. And that means the color starts going from that amber towards neutral and towards green. So once you test that and you find that out, you need to use the panty liner religiously, activate the panty liner before you use it, and always change it. Don't use one panty liner all day. Try to change it as much as 4 or 5 times if you have an infection, so that it will go faster. Thank you very much, Mrs. Murphy, for that. It's a very important information as well. All right, so I see Adenike here says Long Beach pad is the best. I don't think I can use any pad again, no more stains. Shehu says, thanks, Mrs. Boy, for the demo. Maureen says, Long Beach pad is first to none. Lola says, could the Long Beach sanitary napkin cause one's period to go on for longer than the 5 days with clots, especially when you first start using it? Yes, it can. Yes, I always say that. So now let me tell you something, right? What's the period? When you have a period, when you have a menses, what happens is that the lining of the womb is shedding. So prior to your period, the womb starts thickening, preparing for implantation. Now, if there's no implantation of a fertilized egg, the lining sheds, and then again it starts thickening, the lining sheds. Again, that's what a cycle is about, right? Now, but the lining sheds as the period, the blood that comes out. So if most times, because of the kind of sanitary napkins we use, the linings don't shed properly. And that's why sometimes when you go to people having fertility issues and go to hospital, they'll say the lining of the womb is too thick and needs to be scraped. These are some of the reasons that you need to use a good sanitary napkin, so that you don't have excessively thickened womb that prevents fertilization. That's prevents implantation of fertilized eggs. So most times, when you're using other pads, by your 5th day, you start seeing that drop, it will go, to drop, it will go. With Long Beach pad, I can guarantee you don't get that. If it flows all out because of the magnetic energy on the anion. It pulls everything out, right? So if you've had an accumulation on the vagina, on the womb, the lining of the womb, using the pad can literally, bring them out. Now, the far infrared is one of the things that helps with fibroids and further clearing of that womb, okay? The endometrial lining, the far infrared helps. So what it does is it keeps breaking the things into clots, and that's why you see those clots. So yes, in your first time of using it, you may experience a longer flow, but after a while, you will experience such a normalization in flow. And that's the beautiful thing. We've had people who have used it and they used to have erratic periods, having their periods normalized as well. Apart from normalizing your period, sometimes you may just finish your period using the other kinds of pad. As soon as you switch to the Long Beach pad, even if your period just finished last week or 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, once you switch to the Long Beach pad, your period may flow again. Don't be scared. Like I said, the other pad may not have brought everything out. So Long Beach pad needs to bring it all out. Do not be scared. Okay, I hope that has answered the question. So let me take some more comments. Long Beach pad is the best. I can't even use any brand again. Thank you for that. Adenike says the pad regulated my period from 32 days to 28 days. Good. Kate says no Long Beach pad, no period. Thank you. Maybe says my period has regulated now truly. Instead of jumping up and down, it's regulated. And then that powder helped me when I had breakout on my face. Would you say my sister is currently using the baby care products now to treat seborrheic dermatitis? So it happens around the baby's neck and it helps. And she says it's helping to soothe the itching. Yes, the powder is that good. Okay. The Long Beach diaper is extraordinary, someone says. Maureen. Linda says, who else is counting the number of PVs when they will give birth and start using the baby range products? Nice one. Okay, so let me just try to skip. Yes, my white pants always look new because of the panty liner. That's so true. What about itching? Yes, whatever the itching is, the panty liner relieves it and the powder relieves it as well. So STK says, sorry, I can't read that. Sorry, it's not what we're doing here, sorry. Jennifer says, the Long Beach sanitary napkin has regulated my period and reduced my heavy flow. Okay, let's see. ST says, please, my daughter has a foul smell on her vagina. I use the panty liner for her, but it still smells. What can I do? Let her see a doctor. It's possible. It's important that there may be an infection that the panty liner alone cannot help. So she will need to be treated. She needs to see a doctor. She might have an infection. She may need antibiotics. A 3-year-old child needs to see a pediatrician, not panty liner, please. Mrs. Neka says, can a 10-year-old use longish pad and panty liner? Of course, if the person is already having her period, she can. All right, so sorry guys, we are trying our best to make this short, but the testimonies are flowing and I'm sure those of us here are enjoying themselves. So we just continue. Now we're going to call on some of the people that had nominated themselves to speak earlier. So they told us privately that they have some things they want to share. Please, if you are here, Christy, Fatima, please, if you're here. Okay, I've seen Fatima. So Fatima, please start. Miracle, are you still here? You'll be next. Then we'll look for Christy and Loveth. Fatima, go ahead, please.
Okay.
I hope you're still here.
Good morning.
All right.
Good
morning, Fatima.
Good morning, partners. Good morning, Success Line. My testimony is about, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead. We're hearing you very well.
Okay. My testimony is about the longish sanitary napkin. We all know that menstrual pain is not normal, and I can confidently say that it's like a pandemic, but not infectious. About 7 to 8 out of 10 women do experience period pain at some point in their life. And I am one of that women who experience pain. Imagine since the age of puberty, I've been battling with period pain. I used to rely on pain medications, but as a health worker, I don't want to rely on pain medications because drugs are poison on a lower concentration. At a point, the pain medications are not even working for me. I can remember during my secondary school days, I wrote my maths WAEC exams in excruciating pain, just because I'm having my period. I'm having this discomfort. I'm shy about what I'm experiencing. I don't even have to voice my feelings to my mom, because whenever I told my mom that I'm having period pain, she just said that, this is normal. Every woman has period pain. But then I don't want to have period pain, and I don't want to rely on pain medications. And at the point, I started using injections and shots. Instead of me to take paracetamol, ibuprofen, I have to go to the pharmacy just to have injection on me, because the pain is discomforting for me. It's excruciating. I have to stay indoors for like 3 days before I go out, just because of the pain. So last year, I saw an advert on Instagram from my upline about the sanitary napkin, the longest sanitary napkin. And what really caught my attention was the caption she used on the sanitary napkin, that it treats period pain. I saw it as a solution to my problem. I went directly to her on her DM and I ordered for 1 pack of the sanitary napkin. I was skeptical about it, but I decided to try. Maybe it is going to be a solution for my problem, because I cannot relate the physiology, the physiological aspect on the sanitary napkin related to my period pain. How can a sanitary napkin relieve me of my period pain? But then I just gave it a try, and that month when I started using the pad, I experienced reduction in my period pain. It was not as before, but I think I can manage with the pain. And that's how I went back to her that I want to order for more, and that's how I became a partner, just because of sanitary napkin, because it's a solution to my problem. I think I bought the sanitary napkin in August last year, and ever since I've switched my brand completely to that of Superbklean sanitary napkin of Longreach, because I've been noting down my results. It was gradual. Gradual. I still have the period pain then, but I've been using it. And I think a couple of months back, like 4 months ago, I am pain-free. I don't even know that I'm about to start my period. Last 3 months, I went to the office, and at a point I want to go to visit the ladies, and I saw that I'm on my period. No pain, no discomfort, no headache, no PMS, nothing, just because I'm using the sanitary napkin. So thank God for Longreach's range of products.
Thank you so much, Fatima. That's amazing. So 1 minute. So it took you about a year to be completely painless, but you started reducing. When did you stop the medication? When did you stop the medication?
The medications was since August last year because the pain has been
Okay,
reducing, has
since
been
that
reducing.
first day, that first time you used it, you stopped the medication immediately.
Yes,
So you had that significant reduction, but it became
yes,
pain-free after about a year of
yeah,
gradual
yeah.
reduction. Thank you so much.
Mm.
I totally relate. Thank you. That's a touching one. Thanks for sharing. All right, Miracle. Miracle, your turn, please. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good
Hello,
evening.
can we hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to fix the video. I don't have light, so I'm just going to use something in front of me. Good evening, everyone. My name is
Yeah.
Miracle. I'm a rich partner, and I'm so excited to be in this. Thank you, thank you. I'm so excited to be in this meeting right now. Like, I love the sanitary napkins. So I joined Longreach just before I put to bed. So the products I bought were mostly the baby ranch products and the sanitary. I actually bought a pack of the sanitary napkins because I was told it will help in clearing the blood after giving birth and a lot of wonderful things they said it could do for me. So I decided to get the box and then I got the baby ranch products. So I'll start from the sanitary napkins. First of all, I noticed that when I was on there was no odor, no itching, no pains, because when I was secondary school I went to a boarding school and it was all girls, so there was a section of us that used to be on at the same time, like we were friends, and whenever we're on it's like a parade because someone is rolling on the bed, someone is falling from a bunk in the middle of the night just because they're having all these pains. And it was just like it was a normal thing. You just have to have those kind of pains. Or maybe someone just gets in the room and then you perceive some certain kind of order. You just know, Ezra is on, or Simbi is on, or someone is on, that kind of stuff. So for me, it was a normal thing. But when I got in contact with the language part, I realized that all those things were actually not normal. Like you can actually have your period without all those pains, without all those smell. As a matter of fact, when I ran out of my box of pads, I didn't want to buy one single pad. I was telling myself, that 50 PV is very important to me. I want to buy one whole, even if I sell a part of it, or I just wanted to have the PV. So for some unfortunate reason, to use a regular pad just once, see the itching, see that smell again, and I was like, wow, this is really working. Because I remember one time I tried language pad like some years back when I was secondary school, no, in the university, and I was thinking, oh, this pad is not really as wonderful as they're saying it is. Why? Because I was using some funny kind of pants to wear them, so they wouldn't stay in one place. And I remember one time Dr. Adi told us that you had to use cotton good pants to wear the liners or the pads. So it was always shifting around, and then I'll have stains, and then I just dismissed pad. I was like, it's expensive for nothing. I beg, I'm buying again. But by the time I got into language proper and I understood how products work and I used it in pants, I didn't have anymore. I didn't have any problems. Moving panty liner, I have a very wonderful experience with the panty liner. When I put, I wasn't saying anything again. As if maybe I didn't have this faith trust the rest because I had surgery, so I couldn't wear a pants at time to like place it. So what I did was, at some point when the complaint got really serious, I told my mom I need to try this panty liner. From what I was told, it can help get the blood out. So I placed the panty liner on the regular comfy trust pad. So I got it in there, and just like magic, like it just helped, and the blood started coming out, and you know what, I was free from all that wahala. Then another wonderful testimony I have about the panty liner. My sister had this very terrible injury, and my mom is a medical practitioner. She knows how to treat the wounds and all of that. So it wasn't supposed to be an issue, but someone lingered the for months. I was confused. asked my sister, where is your sister? Because she's living together in the school. And she said, she went home for dressing. And I'm like, why should she go home for dressing? When did this woman even have again? It's been such a long, so why does she go? Man, she said the woman not going. And I'm like, okay, fine. We have lunch now. I came to the group chat. I asked about it, like if any could suggest something could do about it. The lady suggested the panty liner can be used, like take out the iron strip and put on the wound, and then it will help. So she was in here, and I'm all the Abuja. I couldn't give her one my box, so I just quickly called the partner that was in here. I connected her to a luggage stockist, and she got a panty liner. Within that was like on the 7th, I can't remember the month exactly, but by the 10th, she sent me another picture of the wound, like the thing was dried up. Inside was clear out and dried up. The sweat around the wound was like no pains anymore. Like someone had taken us to heal with all the dress it with hydrogen peroxide, clean it with gauze and all that. At the end of the day, the long reach panty line service in a matter of days. So it was like amazing. Like I've had so many testimonies, the healing of wounds, even for me. If I feel like I have any small itching, let's assume that maybe I've been less than I didn't my panty liner for some time. Once I take that panty liner and wear, before you say it, like I feel back to normal. I don't feel any itching anymore. Then what else? That's it for the panty liner for me. And moving on to the baby range of products. So I joined shortly before I put to bed. So I got all the products for babes for my baby, and I've never actually had to use any other one. There's no need because the products are awesome. The baby wash shampoo is excellent. The fragrance is just so wonderful. Like when I bathe him and he just feels so fresh. Even the cream complements the baby wash. So even his hair, when I like, my mom was asking me, and I'm supposed to use oil on my baby's hair and all. I'm like, I think it should work for both the hair. And you find out that it makes the hair so soft and silky, and like, and has just been perfect. I've not had any issues. I think it was just sometimes there because I can get very hot sometimes during the Hamatan that he had some rashes. We were always trying to fire him up. Our house is a very bad house. Some parts of the house are like colder than others. So he's in the room and the room is like so cold. It's not even like you on the AC. It's just extremely cold. So we cover him up, cover him up. So when he gets hot at some point and he gets those rashes, we just use the powder on him and everything will be gone. So I've had a very wonderful experience with the baby range of products. That's amazing. When the diapers, I think that was in September last year, I cashed into the promo that was going on. I think it was buy 3 get 1, because for me then at my own the level I was in my finances, I felt like it was a tad expensive. So I was like, okay, since promo, I'm going to use the promo to get many as possible, and I used them and they were so wonderful. All the things that I think it was Dr. Ada said about having help children not to have bow legs and all. It's amazing. You don't find your child dropping from in between his legs with heavy diapers in the name of it's soaked and all of it. You don't find any of those things. Like I don't know who said something about feeling like she could wear it back for the child. Unfortunately, actually did it. One day I used it was perfect. I put it back on him because me, I was like, waiting. There was no I just felt like there's nothing there and it's perfect, like it was completely dry. I just put it on him and he was like, I was like, okay, since I'm not changing you again until I bathe you in the evening, I can actually put this diaper back on you. So there's nothing happening to now, just wear it. And I put it back on him and it was perfect until I was ready to bathe him for the night and it was cool. The other one lasted till the next morning. So I just long products are amazing. The baby range, especially, and this sanitary, all of them, the panty liner they use, because me, I used to use all of them because I had the Vogue. So starting my period when it's not yet heavy, I can use the normal day use. From there, I can have like the day use, the night use, and all of them open at the same time. I'll take a bit of this when I'm starting. When it gets heavy, I'll move to the night use. Like so, it's just full of amazing products. So I recommend it to everyone who is about to give birth, anyone who's wants to give a pregnant woman some stuff, just for them with brand products, and you would not make a big regret it. But thank you, they will come more. That's what I say. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, it's good you bought those products at the right time, before you had a
Yes,
baby. So the
yes.
panty liners help to cleanse yourself, the pads help you even with your period pains, and then of course you now got the baby set that keeps your baby looking fresh. And that fragrance, I don't even know why we didn't talk about it. That fragrance is so fantastic,
It has a good
it's no, it's
smell.
really,
It's
it's really
just perfect.
amazing. Yes, it's just perfect. Thank you so much,
Thank
Hero.
you
I
very
really
much.
appreciate that. All right, guys. So thank you so much. I don't think Christy and Loveth are here. So if they are not here, I'm just going to read the comments, and then we'll just take one person from the audience who also wants to share. You just simply raise your hand, and then we can share. But let me look at the comments. Facebook say we have some comments on Facebook and questions. Onyinye is asking, SD, do you mean we activate the panty liner before placing it on our pants to wear, or what? Because I didn't get that well. Please explain, because I do wear mine without activating. The activation is not necessary, because when you wear the panty liner, the green strip is activated with friction. However, if you do have an infection that you are treating, I strongly recommend you sprinkle a few drops of water on the green strip just to release the anions and all the active ingredients faster. That's the only reason I recommend it. But I still wear mine because I don't have infection. I'm using the panty liner to prevent infection. So I wear it, and because I move about, it just activates the properties of the magnetic energy. Right. So Jovita says the program is so educative. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Yetunde says awesome testimony about the products. Yes, Akam says awesome testimonials. Yes, we do have great feedback on these 2 products. And imagine what other feedbacks we'll have for the rest of the 60 products. Now, some comments here on the Zoom comments. A lot of wow, wow, wow. So someone is saying, please, how does the panty liner, Harriet is asking, how does the panty liner and the pad help with fertility and fibroids as well? So like I had said earlier, the panty liner, one fantastic thing about the combination of the magnetic energy, the far infrared, and the anions is that, I mean, I can go on and spend 30 minutes on this particular thing. But first of all, maintains vaginal pH, so it avoids infection. Second of all, it clears all the channels, like clears. So there's no blockages, nothing. So that speeds up infection. Third of all, if there are fibroids, the far infrared chops on them, chops on them. However, for huge fibroids, and depending on their locations, it may require several years of usage before it can actually get rid of the fibroids completely. So what do we recommend? For huge fibroids, see a doctor and just get the surgery done. But for all these other ones that they say, the small fibroids and this, use just regular usage. The far infrared, the magnetic energy can continue chopping them. You just see the heavy flow, the clots, and that's how it helps. But for fertility, we have had so many people just saying that with just the use of panty liner they conceived. What does it do? It can help with hormonal balance, which literally it helps with flow of oxygen. So it helps with cleansing, detoxification. So general preparation of the womb. And because it can clear channels, it could have just been a blockage that prevented the pregnancy. It could just be the hormonal imbalance, a slight one. It could be a lot of things. So the use of the panty liner can actually help normalize, neutralize, and prepare for conception. And that is why we have received several testimonies on that as well. Okay. I can say thank you, you're welcome. Okay, says I can testify to the odor-free sanitary napkin. Choma says, good evening, everyone. What sort of pants do you use with the long reach pads? I think I'll just say normal full pants and tight pants. I don't mean the full pants like our grandmothers used to wear that you wear and cover your stomach. I just mean the normal tight fitted pants, not your G-strings, not the lacy loose ones. A normal full cotton pants will do very well. I have a friend, Elsie says, I have a friend whose baby, sorry, I'm trying to get to the comments, whose baby has very bad eczema. Baby is 15 months. The GP here in the UK has prescribed so many different products and none have worked. I want to give her the bamboo soap. My question is, which lotion should the salt or baby cream? I think you need to try both. The thing with the products is also dependent on your skin. So my strong recommendation is that you try both. Okay, so try both, but you can start with the baby cream. Beardon says, thanks for sharing testimonies about the panty liner and baby range. You're welcome. So we have a lot of comments about amazing testimonies and all that. Someone is saying the Facebook Live was the Facebook Live. Okay, network is frustrating. I'll drop the link again. I dropped it earlier. I'll search for it and drop it again. Ijoma says, pregnant women are not to use the panty liner, right? So when do you advise a lady trying to conceive to stop the use? That's a very good question. Yes, pregnant women shouldn't use the panty liner because at the early stages of the pregnancy, because the panty liner is detoxifying, you could just see the pregnancy as something to pull out. So what I always strongly say is this: if you're trying to conceive, use the panty liner immediately after your period. Normally, if you're using the panty liners and pads regularly, your period should have normalized to 4 or 5 days. Use it immediately after your period for at least 7 days. That's before your ovulation. So once you hit your ovulation, please stop, okay? Once you hit your, so I personally know that if I use the panty liner after having sex, everything comes out. Like literally, you see the sperm on the panty liner, literally just crazy, you know. So that's good. So just don't use it up to your ovulation. So if for those who don't know when they are on ovulation, I'll just say use it for just 7 days after your period, just 7 days and stop. And if the conception doesn't happen, then by the next cycle, you do the same thing. Okay. Nomi says, can't hear anything. I hope you're hearing now. Hello, please, which of the teas is good for BP? We'll talk about that during when we're talking about the tea, sorry. Taruho Queen says, thanks, Dr. ID, for this. I got a patient who wants to get pregnant and it's delayed. I gave her panty liners and asked her to use it for 1 week before using the Menjan. Don't know if I advised her well. Well, you don't know how long it will take because you don't know what the medical condition is. So you ask first, has the person been to the hospital? What's the diagnosis? What's the probable cause of infertility? So we know what to do. Or maybe she's not infertile, but she just wants to get pregnant. Then also check that people that have fibroid cannot use Menjan. So check that she has no evidence of fibroid so that you don't give her the Menjan. But she can use the panty liners a week after her period and stop since she's trying to conceive. Can children drink from the alkaline cup? Yes, but not every day. All right, so I think those are all the questions here. I've got one hand here now. Oh, Naomi. Sure. Naomi, your volume is not up, so I can't actually ask you to unmute. Please, can you turn on your volume, so your audio, so that we can actually bring you up? Someone was on raising hands before. Okay, Oma, are you still here? I saw Okioma Ibeneme. Do you still want to talk, Okioma Ibeneme? You had your hands up. Please raise it again. Naomi, please help me work on your volume so that we can actually ask you to unmute. Okioma, please go ahead and unmute yourself. We'll just take your own feedback and then we'll go on, please.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Hi, good evening. Welcome.
I'm sorry, I'm not turning on the video because I think I will lose bandwidth if I do so.
It's okay, thank you. Please go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I just wanted to share a small experience with a family member. You know, she had issues with conception for a little over 10 years. In fact, it led to the end of her first marriage. And she's in a second marriage now. And unknown to us, she had done a fibroid surgery that had some complications. Now, after the surgery, she stopped having a menstrual bleed completely, and in fact was advised to come back for another round of surgery to correct whatever it was that was going on. Now, it had been 3 years after that surgery that I just thought to gift her a box of 4-in-1 pad. She lives in the US, and I sent a whole box from Nigeria to her. And you know, when I did that, initially she stopped talking to me, you know. Then out of the blues, 2-3 months down the line, she calls me in the middle of the night around 2 a.m. to tell me a few things. Now, she had not been having a period, we didn't know. And then now she started using the products I sent. Initially, she was upset. She felt like, okay, I was pointing out the fact that she was unable to conceive, you know. And then she just thought to herself one day, let me just use it, Sha. It won't hurt. So she started using the product. And then she was using the panty liner for a few weeks, and suddenly there was a deluge of darkened, smelly blood and all that. You know, like the dam broke. And this is almost a year after then. Her period has been regular, like clockwork. Wow. You know, like she by herself said to me, "Okoma, I want to do this thing that you're doing. I want to join you guys." there must be something in it. And she started telling her friends in Nigeria. So like we look at it as a regulator, as a cleanser, as a lot of things, but I think that for this one person, it's many, many more things. Yeah, just thought to share that experience here. It might just be useful to somebody.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Kama. We really do appreciate that. Thank you so, so much. Okay, so I'll take a few more comments and then we will close for tonight. We were meant to do an hour. We are almost overshooting again. So I have a few more questions here. Doctor, do you mean someone with fibroid cannot use the Mengian? Yes, I'll say that again. No, you can't use the Mengian. The Mengian, the fibroid acts like a baby. So when you take a Mengian, you're literally giving it. The Mengian contains very strong female hormones, right? So it's like hormones feeding the baby. So it feeds the Mengian and the Mengian grows. So please do not give somebody with fibroid Mengian. Can menopausal woman use the panty liner? Yes, of course. Panty liner does not interfere with natural processes. It restores natural processes. It will not interfere with your natural process, but it will restore it if it was terminated abruptly. That's the beautiful thing about panty liner. Why can't women with fibroid use the Mengian? I've already just talked about it. Helen says Longish products are just amazing. I gave a nurse a panty liner and Mengian supplement, and after 1 month, her period that sits for 2 years just came out. Yes, we've had so many testimonials like that. A friend of mine used the panty liner. She has very irregular periods, very, very irregular. She used the panty liner and her periods returned to very regular. I mean, she used to have her periods like once in 6 months. Now she's got it every single month. Now, Ebuka is saying, a friend is having a white discharge. I recommended the panty liner, but she's still complaining of the same discharge. According to her, she has been on medical antibiotics, but the discharge keeps coming. Any advice for her, please? Yes. If she's been on antibiotics and it's still not working, I would strongly suggest to give the person the cordyceps militaris. I've had a similar situation. I think it was sometime in 2017, and the ladies bought the cordyceps militaris and it stopped. So, like I said, the panty liner doesn't treat very serious infections. Okay, so for serious infections, they need to see. So if she has seen a doctor and the doctor has given her medication, that's if she's seen a doctor. But if she has not seen a doctor, please let her see a doctor and do proper tests to ascertain the cause of the discharge. It's very, very, very important. Okay, so all right, thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to just ask my co-host to give us their closing thoughts. And then I will also wrap up. So Mrs. Murphy, I'll start with you. Answer, please be on standby. Thank you.
Okay, so I just want to tell everyone, especially those that still have the poverty mindset. I'm sorry, I'm just being a little bit blunt. Sometimes forget about the money and use what works. Because many times we find out that we're fighting village people that are sipping palm wine happily on their own. We blame them for things that we can actually correct by ourselves. As a woman, we see our period every month. So even if you don't want to buy the carton, and I wonder why you should not, because I know a lot of women borrow money to buy ashwebi of 20K, and these clothes, when you even wear them and post them on Instagram, you find yourself hiding. You don't want to post again. Most times we can be vain like that. But if you can borrow money, right, to do certain things, please, that 50 PVs, yes, is very, very important, because I wouldn't even see myself buying pad, like buying a pack of pad. I don't ever want to be caught buying a pack of pad, especially because in my household, I have myself, I have my daughter, and my house help. At least 3 of us that we see our period every month. So I know that I must have cartons waiting. 1 carton can last, if you don't have a very heavy flow that you have to change every now and then, 1 carton can last for 18 months. So imagine if you're 3, I have 3 ladies in my house, so I'm looking at about 6 months. I don't think it's too much to invest 21,000 in my vagina. I had to mention it that way. So please, the women, the pad is a must use, a must have. Sometimes we think of only, okay, Shibi is just pad. Do you know that when you're having boils and rashes down there, you cannot concentrate? You will find yourself being angry and frustrated, in a bad mood. Like you don't even know what is annoying you, but you're just literally angry. When you perceive that odor, you become angry. Like you literally see people walking away from you. You may have used the best perfumes, but trust me, what comes out from there, sometimes you cannot control it. And it's not about putting soap inside to wash. You're not allowed to, we're not supposed to wash there with soap, you know? So please invest in your monthly cycle. If you can buy data, just put it as part of your budget. Buy the carton and use. For your daughter's friends, my daughter's friends, I had to ask her, I said, how many of your friends experience menstrual pain? When she told me, I wrote down their names. I'm calling their mothers. I'll probably gift them some sanitary pad, but I know that once they use it, they would know that menstrual pain is not normal. Forget about what we had when we were growing up, popping pills every month. It's even the grace of God that some of us were still able to have children with all the things we swallowed, because it's just God that said, okay, people should just be giving birth. So please take care of your down there. If you're a man, please, as you're buying shawarma and suya, people love buying those things every night for your wife. Make sure she is using the right sanitary pad. If you have sisters, call them up, tell them, gift it to them. It's not every day you dash them money for data. Buy sanitary pads for them. You are investing in their life. If you have neighbors, in fact, when I heard I've forgotten her name, the lady that talked about her baby and using baby products, I just realized every time I go to see my friends that give birth, I only give them the diapers and the cream and the soap. Why don't I give them the pad? Like, I don't even know how I forgot about that. So now I'm going to be adding the pad and the panty liner to my list of baby products gifts I give people. Because God knows I cannot go to a supermarket to buy any other product as a gift for anybody. So if it's your birthday, I'll give you Longreach wine and get my 10 PVs. If you give birth, I'm going to give you what I can get PVs from. So thank you.
Yeah. So much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ansa, are you here or did you step out to do mother duties? All right. So there's a few more comments here. Someone says you got it right, Mrs. Murphy. Women, let's invest in our vagina. Moji says one will be very angry and you will not even know why you're angry. Very true. Overvalue. Adebisi says, I used the sanitary pads a few days ago and I was bewildered and shocked at the size of the blood clots I saw. I had to go to the A&E because I was scared. Now I knew it was the anions working. Yes, don't be scared. It's the anions working as well. So I would like to say this. Mrs. Murphy has said a lot already, and I'll tell you a bit of my experience. The first product that attracted me to Longreach was the Longreach toothpaste. And then from the Longreach toothpaste, I got to know about the Longreach panty liners. And then that was the second product. The second product that wowed me. I was actually given had back pains. I was diagnosed of sleep disc. And I can tell you that just from using the panty liner, I sacked my physiotherapist. It got rid, it helped me reduce the pain from the sleep disc before I switched to the atro and caldron, which literally almost took it away. So the panty liner helped me relieve pain from sleep disc. But when I started using the panty liner, the first thing I experienced was the itchy stopped. So for as long as I've been an adult and I've been aware of my vagina, I always have vaginal itch. Very serious vaginal itch. I had different kinds of tablets, antifungal tablets, antifungal cream. My favorite was Canesten. It was always in my bag. I couldn't share any toilet. I'll go out, I'll not pee till I come back home. It used to be that bad. And when I have to pee, I would try everything. I lived in the hostel when I was in university. And I couldn't have my bath until the cleaners cleaned. And when the cleaners just finished cleaning with their bleach, you enter the toilet, everywhere smelling bleach. That's the only time I can poo, and that's the only time I can have my bath. Otherwise, I will pick up that infection. I was that prone to vaginal infection. So all my adult life, I don't share toilets. I try not to share toilets. And that used to cost me a lot of money. I still had to buy my antifungal creams. But guess what? In just 1 month of using the Longreach panty liner, within 2-3 days, everything itching stopped. I first used the Longreach sanitary panty liner rather. I first used it, I will not forget. I first used it, I think it was October 2000. Yes, October 2013 was the first time. And I can tell you from then till today, I haven't had a single vaginal itch. I use my panty liner every day because I know how horrible that infection can be. I know the foul odor that used to ooze out. These days, I cannot believe how fresh and lovely my vagina smells. And that is one thing I enjoy. And I believe we're all adults here. Imagine a man trying to give you head. Forgive me that I'm going to go that wrong. And then that smell just pushes the man away. This is the point. How much do you love your vagina? How much do you actually care? I remember a man telling me that he tried, oh God, forgive me, but during sex, he couldn't even touch his wife's vagina because he was that scared of the smell. You know, so ladies, you need to respect yourself. You need to show yourself, show people that you can. And you, I mean, love yourself, love your vagina, invest in your vagina. The next thing I want to talk about to every mother here and every father here, your daughter's fertility in the future could be in your hands. If World Health Organization has said that 50 to 60% of gynecological issues are caused by poorly made sanitary napkin. If you're now giving your child a poorly made sanitary napkin, what do you think will happen? That means she's at 50% risk of having gynecological issues. And that part of that could be infertility. What would it cost you to make sure that your child uses the best sanitary napkins such that you can guarantee that at least 50% of whatever issues she must face when she becomes a mom will be reduced, or when she's trying to conceive will be reduced. This is the point. I have seen so many mothers who have decided to invest in their daughter's future and make sure that they use the best sanitary napkin. What are you using for your child? I've seen a question here. Can men use the panty liners for some infections too? Yes, you can. Last week, a man shared with us how he's used the panty liner for prostate. We didn't even talk about it. It's an anti-inflammatory. He used it for prostate and it did reduce the prostate inflammation. Not prostate cancer, but prostate enlargement. There's a difference, right? Prostate cancer is cancer and needs to be treated as cancer. But prostate enlargement, urinary incontinence, those are things that the panty liner can solve. At the end of this training, for those that will stick around, I'm going to upload a video that you can watch on urinary incontinence and how the panty liner has helped different people. I got that video in 2014 when I started my Long Beach business, and I don't mind sharing it with you people. Okay, so women, love your vagina, invest. One box that can last for 12 to 18 months is less than 22,000 naira or 23,000 naira, depending on what you're buying. 21 or 23,000 naira, trust me, is the best investment in yourself. You don't have to do the business, but if you do want to do the business, it's fine as well. Speak to you and ask about the business. This series is just about exposing you to the products. Now, if you're hearing about the sanitary napkins for the first time and you do want more information and you want to get it, feel free to go back to whoever introduced you to this video or this meeting right now, and you can get more information on how to get the sanitary napkin as well. We will have this video again uploaded on our YouTube, and it's also on our Facebook page, Long Beach Dynasty Hub. Okay, so there are so many comments. Please go to the comments and read them. I can't take so much more comments. Even on Facebook, we have amazing comments. All right, Answer, you're back. Let's hear you, and then I'll wrap up. Thank you. Answer, over to you. You can unmute yourself. Thank you. Just your final thought for today. Yeah.
Okay, so you have to give some self-value. You have to appreciate yourself for you to even appreciate what you should do for yourself. A lot of people are stingy to themselves. They could actually be free giving to other people, but when it comes to self, they are tight-fisted. So when we get to that place of self-love, then you realize that these things, you know, it bothers me so much when people say, oh, but it's expensive. I mean, we've tried to highlight how you're getting value. When you would have used 10 of something, you're using just one. How much more value? Then when you think of all the other benefits, which we're going to talk about at the end of our, at the end of the program, at the end of what we are doing now, it's a win-win for everybody. I will say it again, we all experience these products in every way possible. But one thing is consistent, it is the value added to self, value added to family that is coming. Do you know the kind of testimonies I receive on our panty liners, even for men, on prostate cancer, enlarged prostate, for burns, severe burns? I mean, there was some guy that had like full body burn, and in 2 weeks, what the hospital could not manage for almost a year, the guy's body was decaying. just 2 weeks of consistent use of the strips from a panty liner, and that guy was just like a brand new person. So when we look at what these products can do for us, you should consider coming onto, you know, when they say this thing that is like a cliche, that is like, we say too much, change your brand, change your brand. There's no other English to say it. If you look into your cupboards and you look at the products you have there, a lot of these products, if they are foreign bought, they even have some, I'm suspecting Longreach has even manufactured these products for those companies, and you're not getting anything. So why not come on board a platform that secures your health for you, secures your wealth for you, that helps you to help other people, you know? But most important, love yourself. Love yourself enough to stop the things hurting yourself, and watch how things play out too. And don't be stingy. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Do not be afraid to open your mouth and tell somebody. Okay? A closed mouth is a closed destiny. That's where I'll end.
It's a closed destiny. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so there's this man on Facebook. I'll call man, I won't call his name. So he said, who told them we like buying shawarma? Self, Mrs. Murphy, who told the men like buying shawarma? He says, ladies, I beg, make una help us keep that estate neat, I beg. Make una try help women. Na beg with the beg. Women like being stingy, Sha. They'll prefer bone straight. Please, so before you buy bone straight, buy your sanitary napkin. I really had to read that. It was such an interesting part. Like Ansa has said, you need to love, 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 love everything about your products, about your business, and all of that. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We will try to make the YouTube link available by tomorrow, so you can also watch anytime. YouTube link doesn't go away, so just join the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube page. Is the Dynasty Group. That's the name of the YouTube page. If you're following me on Facebook, my Facebook name is ID Hillary Uso. You will see the YouTube link on my page. So you can just click on the YouTube link and go to the YouTube, and you can catch up on all our videos on the Dynasty Group YouTube page, and that video will remain there forever. So thank you, everyone. There's so much we need to tell you. I'm not going to lie to you. There's so much testimonies we want to share with you, but we will need to end it here. We'll need to end it here. But before we do, say goodnight. Like I said, I'll stop the recording, and then I'll video. The video is also going to be uploaded to our YouTube link, by the way. But I'll show us that video that describes the wonders of anions. And then after that, we'll all unmute ourselves and say good night. Okay, so let me play the video now. Remember, we're going to be back here on Saturday. This Saturday, the men will be sharing with us the products they use and why. So get all the men here, and you women, be here and be ready to get them their Christmas gifts, because all the products the men are going to be sharing with us are products you will want to buy for them to use. So our men will be sharing with us on Saturday the products they use and why they decided to stick with the product. So let me play the video right. Give me 1 minute. Thank you. Right, so it's just opening up, and then I'll just do a screen share to play the video. Some of us have seen this video before, some haven't, but this is just to show you the amazing wonders of the green strip. Now, in the video, there's a part I do not 100% sanction, and it's the part where the green strip is put in water to drink. I'd rather you buy the alkaline cup to use. Don't use the green strip in water to drink, but other than that, enjoy. So I'll share my screen right away now, and then we can say goodbyes at the end of it. We're ready? Let's go.